Matt. Welcome to the next episode of Greymantle. This is a very special episode because we just have Anji and Sparrow. Uh, Isolation is part of this game, and while I was tempted to make it just an Anji isolated episode, Allie is here as well, and I wanted her to get the chance to play Sparrow and see how these two characters interact. Um,
I mean, I was going to be here
when the
recording
stakes
anyway.
when the stakes are really high. Yeah, it would be kind of weird for you to sit here and just record but not actually play. Like, anyway, so welcome. I am Eric Scott DeVee, GM of this game. I will not be the GM of Greymantle forever, however, because Allie will eventually GM her own Greymantle campaign, which I'm hoping to play in. It's going to be good.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
uh, and I am a writer, gamer, designer, Twitch streamer, all of those things. You can find me online. I was going to give a little shout out to the Dungeon Scrawlers Discord page, which has just a great little wholesome community. We have like a support chat. We have a good memes channel. We, talk about all kinds of things. Writing about dragons and shit, which is Aaron M. Evans's um, I don't know. It's a show, right? Is it a
I think,
podcast?
I
I'm
think
not
it's a,
sure.
I think it's a podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a podcast with Trevor Bettis and B. Dave Waters and whoever else shows up, and it is kind of like lives there on our Discord. So if you want to learn about that and you want to come listen and discuss, that's the place to do it. Anyway, that's it from me. Take it away, Alex.
All right. Hi everybody. I'm Alexandra Pitchford, or Allie for short. I am a writer, game designer, TTRPG streamer, and I'll be playing Sparrow today, as per usual. I don't think I like saying usual. No.
Huge.
Anyway, I also want to take a second to tell you about one of our sponsors, which is Idle Champions. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels from the aforementioned Aaron M. Evans. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. Did we want to talk about our dice partners?
Sure. I can just do that.
Yeah.
So we have two dice partners. Phoenix Dice, which is made of all recycled materials. So it's like your dice are rising from the ashes after you condemn them for rolling too many natural ones in a row, or excellent legendary dice that have come back to serve once more. Look at it either way that you want. And the other is Norse Foundry, which specializes in metal dice, which have a really weighty feel and can easily damage your table. So you probably want a felt dice roller box that you can put it in. And those dice are also very beautiful. They have many, many different patterns that are available, and you can get yourself a nice cozy discount by using the codes that are down there in the doobly-doo, or you can also put in commands as it says on the screen, because Twitch is like that. So get yourself some cool dice. Oh, and let's take it to Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda Cherry, and despite the fact they do not let me read commercials on this channel, I am a union actor. I'm also a storyteller. I write books about women who are very powerful and who are not very nice. Also, sometimes TTRPGs and the occasional award-winning screenplay. As you may or may not remember, because it's been a hot minute since I've been able to be here for a recording, I play Anji. She is the thirsty bard who is mostly good for decoration, and I'm excited to be back in the chair. I'm glad that I was able to. I sing in a rock band, and we've been having a lot of shows lately, which is great, except that it conflicts with my evenings here. So excited to find a night when I am neither in rehearsal nor on stage and can come in and be a musician on.
Yes,
Yeah.
Amanda's a bard in the game and in real life.
And IRL.
And don't worry, we will put you down for reading commercials in the future. Okay, so back to Greymantle. So when last we left off, which for us is probably a long time, but for the viewers is only 2 weeks now. Um, Anji had gone back to the Devil's Choir hideout in the profane cathedral to visit Tarrant, their rogue monk friend, who had contracted the plague and might be dying soon. And they had a tender moment together, and Anji was actually vulnerable with someone for a brief moment in time. If you don't believe me, you can go watch the episode. I wouldn't believe me either. And then she just fell asleep from exhaustion. And when she awoke, well, what
He
did you
was
discover?
that he was not in fact dead.
He was not, in fact, dead.
I only say nice things to people when I'm sure they're gonna die, and no one will ever know that I said a nice thing.
Right?
And
Because they can't
no,
tell the story if they're dead.
yeah, that's the point. So yeah, woke up, and not only was he like not laying there dead, he wasn't laying there at all. He was in fact like in the kitchen, totally fine, fixing breakfast, and we're all just hoping that he thinks he had a fever dream and that he does not think I ever actually said any of the things that
If
I
you
said.
are concerned, though, there was a great deal of death that happened. Because what we discovered at the very end of the episode is that the cathedral below was full of corpses. Hmm. Also, Evening, or Eve for short, was also there. She is a young girl that was rescued, discovered in the previous season of Greymantle, and she is creepy and strange and has interesting powers. And she claims to have helped Tarrant, cured him of the plague, in fact.
Yeah.
That's
Uh-huh.
spicy.
Uh-huh. So we're gonna see what happens. So I actually want to start with Sparrow because Allie has been dying to see how this goes. So, Sparrow,
Uh-huh.
after what happened with you, which in this case was a massive explosion in next to a tomb with a great monster that was trying to consume you,
Yeah.
you find yourself in a hazy red and black landscape. All around you, heat distorted badlands for as far as the eye can see.
Well, if this is death, then bloody hell.
You hear a voice calling your name, but it's not Sparrow. It's a name that applies to you from deeper within. Are you able to make out what this voice is saying?
Yes.
What
It's well, it's a name that Sparrow I don't think would. She'd look confused for because this is not a name she recognizes, but it's twigging all the same. Um.
you want to
Uh.
tell us what she's calling you?
Yes. She is calling the name that's being called out is Alina, and she's so Sparrow is very confused. Um, but she'll kind of pick herself up. Like, is she like burned? Like what? Like the last thing she remembers is boom.
You're just wearing all your normal clothes. You have your normal kit with you.
All right. Well, she'll sigh. Well, I suppose this is not as terrible an afterlife as I thought might happen, but still not still not winning anyone over here.
Okay.
And she'll start kind of trudging toward the sound of the voice.
All right.
Oh, I'm going
Um,
to die again. The second time. I'm going to. Can you die if you're already dead? Like she's muttering to herself as she's walking.
so as you make your way through the landscape, you see a figure making its way toward you from this same direction. And only as the figure grows closer do you realize that it is you, or, well, someone who looks just like you, coming across the red dune the same way you are coming across a red dune. You continue approaching, or do you stop?
Uh, I'll slowly approach.
Okay, the
She's
figure
definitely
slowly approaches you as well.
like Sparrow's wary. Sparrow's wary. And despite the fact that she definitely has a moment of, oh, I knew I was good looking, but damn.
Okay. The figure, who again looks exactly like you,
Yeah.
is also admiring your appearance.
All right.
It's like you're looking into a mirror,
Because
though you don't see a mirror exactly.
Sparrow doesn't have mirror related trauma at all.
Yeah, definitely not.
No, Eric
Definitely
would
not.
never. Eric would never do that to you.
You
But
hear
yeah.
another you hear another voice, this being Oriana's voice, saying, "What is it? What is it, Sparrow? What is it?" And you see that the
Oh,
figure that you were looking at, uh, Oriana steps from behind her, and Oriana is badly burned. Like all of her clothing is in ragged, blackened tatters, and she looks like she was just mostly exploded.
uh, this is getting very surreal. Ori?
So your double looks over to her and addresses her in the same way. And she looks confused. She looks at you. She looks at her partner. She looks back at you. You feel pressure on your hand.
I mean, I'll look down when I feel the
Okay.
pressure.
Hey, there is a pale hand holding your hand, and you realize that it is Isadora standing next to you rather than Oriana.
All right.
She
Uh,
says, "You're here to protect me, right?
Sparrow's
You're
very
supposed
confused.
you're supposed to protect me."
I mean, I'll I'll do my best.
What does that mean? What do you mean you'll do your best? You're supposed to take care of me.
Uh, I mean, I appreciate that you. bel- I, I she's like stumbling over her words. I'm not sure I entirely understand what's happening right now.
For once, take responsibility for your own life, Sparrow, Isadora says, which is a very strange thing for someone you just met like 2 days ago to say to you.
Excuse me.
And Oriana, to your double, says, "I would never say that to you, Sparrow," she says to your double.
Oh, that's a complete crock of bullshit right there.
"I know you're incapable of taking responsibility for anything in your life."
Okay, that's more accurate. She just kind of relent. Look, and she'll stop and she'll look around the space and just say louder to the air, basically. I don't know what game you're playing here, who you are, but stop. This is nonsense, and I'm getting kind of tired of it.
Okay. Your double has been looking around, and she says exactly the same thing in a discordant voice, which kind of harmonizes with yours, but isn't quite the same.
Okay.
And then Ori says, "Who are you talking to?" And Isadora says, "You shouldn't talk to her. It's not safe."
Listen, dear, tell me something. What's going on? This is so confusing.
So your double looks at you very directly.
Mm. Just kind of like,
Mm.
what?
And she kind of like pulls back a little bit too, like she's startled by you looking at her very directly. And then she very slowly and deliberately reaches down and starts drawing her sword.
Oh, yeah. The moment that my copy starts to draw steel, I'm going to do the same because I'm not going to let my doppelganger stab me.
All right. She brings the blade up and kind of salutes to you with the blade. Looks it out to the side. Which, I mean, you learned that particular salute in your fencing lessons over the years.
Right? Yeah, I'll echo the salute.
Okay. And then
Really bewildered.
she raises the blade in kind of a hanging guard. You're going to do the same thing?
Yeah. At this point.
And then she brings it around and stabs it right through Oriana.
At that point, Sparrow will Ori, and like reach out with her offhand, like she's gonna move to try to like stop it or something.
Okay. Isadora is holding you back, like just furiously holding onto your hand. Do you try and pull free?
Yes.
Okay, you pull free, and Isadora, as you're watching, just kind of melts away into dust behind you. And you are now holding Ori, who is bleeding all over you and the ground.
Okay.
Your
I'll
double
kind of,
is still
like-
standing there over you, holding the sword dripping with Oriana's blood.
Why would you do this?
Why would you do this?
Don't. She'll just kind of like she's in shock, just staring between Ori and the copy. I didn't do this.
I didn't do this, she says.
Okay, as soon as that second echo, I will lower Ori to the ground, pick my sword back up, and I'm going to, with Sparrow's shaking at this point, and she's going to pick up the sword, and without another word, she's going to, because it's just going to repeat what she says, she's going to turn and drive the blade through the copy.
Okay. You kind of expect the copy to just do the same thing and just stab right through you, but instead she puts her sword out wide and your sword goes right through her. And she says, I am your shadow. You cannot kill your own shadow.
Not
And that's
you. Yeah.
And that's when you wake up.
Ah.
And damn it.
So, Anji, you're sitting there in shock. Tarant is in the kitchen making breakfast, frying up some meat. Exactly what kind of meat? Who can say? Because the rations have been difficult to come by.
I had brought a bunch of food back.
Oh,
that was
okay.
part of what I was bringing. That was my that was the whole reason I was coming back here, was that like I knew Tarant was sick and like didn't want him to starve to death because I didn't want to find a corpse in the belfry when we came back. That's all.
And you
That's
chose
the only
to
reason I'm here.
you chose to spend some rations on the dying man. How kind. Don't worry.
Just because I didn't want a corpse in the belfry. That's all. That's all. It's the only reason.
So as you're sitting there, He, Tarant, is kind of humming a melody of some sort as he cooked. Um, if you don't say anything, Eve is going to notice that you're sitting up and awake, and she comes over to you
Hmm.
and she says, "How are you? Are you feeling okay?"
I am, waking
And
up.
you are fairly hungry, but you don't feel sick.
No, I suppose I'm well. Thank you.
That's good. That's good. I am really tired. I only have so much power, but I have the power to help anybody, lots of people.
Well, that is excellent information. Evening. How would you, or do you have a nap, a meal? What would refresh your energy stores, thusly?
I got a ticket from someone else. That's all.
And from whence did you source the power that has our friend there humming in the kitchen this morning?
From the cathedral.
That's what I was afraid of.
Oh, don't worry. I helped a lot of people in the cathedral too. That's
Oh,
what I do. I help people.
you helped people in the cathedral as well. In what? In the same way you helped
Well,
Toronto, or differently?
I cured them of the plague, of course.
Ah,
I've
to
cured
the
lots of people.
I believe that, dear. Did you cure them to the singing in the kitchen variety of cured, or some other condition
Well,
that
I don't
they?
know. People
Okay.
entertain themselves in lots of different ways.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Um,
I like it when you sing, though.
well, I'm glad. I'm glad you like that. I'm very glad you like that. Hmm. uh,
How come they're not singing down in the cathedral?
oh, they are also tired. They're just
Oh,
resting their eyes.
well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, you've done quite a bit for Tarant there, making him feel more chipper than I've ever seen him. Certainly, first thing in the morning.
Well, I
Um,
know he's important to you, and I, you know,
and,
I wanted to help.
oh well, that's lovely of you. Would you perhaps have power to one more, not as ill as he was, without taking from anyone, to make one other person
I mean, I could
chipper?
try.
Could you would you be
Hmm.
willing?
Of course.
I shall need you to come with me then. Not right away. Let's let's
If if it's
enjoy
someone,
a bit of breakfast and see how much Toronto remembers of last night.
yeah,
But yes, we should be on our way shortly.
if it's someone important to you, then I will definitely help. Oh, and if it's someone important to Sparrow, I will definitely help.
Well then, you're in luck, because it is someone who's a bit of important to both of us in different ways, but indeed you would be much appreciated, evening, dear. But again, let's have a spot of breakfast
Okay,
first.
yep. Tarak comes over and just brings them plates of food
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm,
tea.
mm.
Well,
You're looking well
I'm
this
feeling
morning.
a lot better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my
Mm.
brain is so scattered. Barely remember anything.
Oh, what is the last thing you remember?
Last thing I remember was setting down the breakfast and telling you that
Oh,
I can barely remember anything. Come on, princess.
yes, yes. You have a delightful sense of humor, sir. I mean, prior to that, you, what of your illness do you remember?
Oh, well, I was feverish and someone was talking to me. I think it was you who was talking to me. What were you saying? Hmm. Something about you and about me. It'll come to me.
I don't think it will. I
Huh.
don't think it will.
I
I
suppose you've noticed the stench.
um couldn't really avoid it.
Yeah, well, no sense not eating just because there are dead bodies down below us,
I suppose.
unless we want to join them.
Oh no, oh no. In fact, we'll be departing Evening and I quite soon as we're done.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's it? You're not going to tell me what you were trying to tell me last night?
I didn't tell you. I didn't want you to starve to death. I didn't want to find a corpse in the belfry.
Oh,
So,
well, that's surprisingly kind of you.
do not want to have to clean up dead bodies. I think that's perfectly in character.
You're right. It is perfectly in character, Princess.
Eh,
Eve is looking back and forth between the two of you like, hmm.
wasn't a kindness. It was purely pragmatic on my part.
Do you have any plans for how you're going to dodge the purifiers?
Sort of burn that bridge when we get to it.
Oh, well, they're down below, and
Oh,
they've taken over the building that the exit is attached to.
ah, and
So
I
I would say we're pretty close to that bridge.
suppose so. We're likely to have to sneak through invisible then.
Hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, I did make it all the way across town just so you wouldn't starve to death in the belfry.
That's a long way to go through a war zone
At night,
at
with
night,
marauders on the
alone.
street.
Yeah, very practical and kind. I mean, just practical of
Very
you.
pragmatic of me, truly it was.
Very much so. So, I feel like I feel some responsibility to help you out of this mess that you are now in.
Oh, is that so?
I do, yeah.
And
Uh,
in what way might you be helpful?
well, I know a secret way out of the cathedral, for instance. I don't usually use it because, well, it's on the ground floor, and I don't usually go down there. But I mean, you know me. There's no way I wouldn't have done a little scouting and investigating.
I do know.
Eve says, "Oh, I know about that too."
Oh,
Tarant looks at her like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, that's how I got in."
that makes more sense than it ought to.
Tarant looks a little concerned. So after breakfast, we're getting out of here, right?
I, I suppose we are.
Perfect. All right. So you eat breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Eve is still looking at you like, mm, hmm. Just like scrutinizing each other across the table.
like, like
All right.
no words, child. Do not.
Uh,
If you think you saw something, no, you didn't.
Tarant also says, I did notice one other thing. Look out that window when you have a chance.
I'll get up and go look out the window. That's fine. I'm like
Yeah.
nibbling on a biscuit, going to look out the window.
Yeah, that window is like a southeast facing window. And what you can see is the skyline of Nightside, smoke rising from numerous of the districts. But also you can see the Evanescent Tower, which is unusual because the Evanescent Tower is only supposed to appear at midnight,
Yeah, it's usually not visible.
and it's not midnight. And Tarant says, I thought you might find that interesting. You have a friend who works out of that tower, right?
Friend, is this perhaps not the word?
Well, I didn't want to tread on your delicate sensibilities by saying patron.
I am acquainted with someone who spends
Uh-huh.
a bit of time in the tower, but peculiar.
Might be something to check out. Anyway, first
Might
things
be.
first and second thing second. First thing, eat. Second thing, escape. Third thing, investigate the tower. Yes?
No, no, no.
No.
First thing, eat. Second thing, escape. Third thing, get Eve to where I need her to go.
Where's that exactly? Yeah, where's that exactly? Eve says.
I'd like her to check in with the rest of the ladies.
Oh. Tarant goes, and why is that?
That's for me to know.
Yes. I assume that you knew. That's why I asked. Tarant says, are we really going to play this game?
I don't know. You feeling unusually playful this morning, Tarant?
So infuriating, Aji. Anyway, it's fine. Keep your secrets. I'll figure it out myself anyway. One of them is sick, isn't it, she? All right, yeah. Well, I agree. We got to get Eve to the ladies then. Did you perhaps leave some sort of rendezvous plan with them?
I know precisely where to get her, thank you. And then
Great.
I shall go investigate the tower.
Well,
The first things first, the food's getting cold.
excellent. Okay, so you finish eating.
Yeah.
You pack up, you get all your stuff. Morant says, I suspect we're not coming back here for a while, so if you have anything hidden anywhere in here, now would be the time.
Actually should check. I don't think I did leave anything hidden.
Yeah, I don't think you did either.
I've got some changes of clothes and like some small musical instruments that have accumulated, but like nothing that's too important, nothing that's going to be like time sensitive to get back. So
Okay. And then you're gonna head down. Okay.
yeah, lead the way.
So, spiraling staircase leads down into the depths of the cathedral. It is an unusually silent journey because no one's stirring down below. You can hear voices from outside. It appears that the cathedral has been blocked off and people are demanding to know what happened or something like that. Like, could be that people are going to come in at some point. And you are slowly winding your way down. And Eve abruptly stops on the stairs and says, wait, she wasn't here before, was she?
Who?
Oh, you'll see. You'll see.
I'd rather not see, Eve. I'd rather have a noun right now.
I think it's Sparrow.
Is here.
I think so.
No, that's impossible. I left her with. She
It-
wouldn't leave. She wouldn't. She wouldn't.
Tehran says, yeah, she would. Totally, she would. All right. He pulls out his short sword. Let's get down there. So,
Yes,
Sparrow, I said that you woke up.
Yes.
I did not say the conditions under which you woke up.
Oh,
Well, let me
No, you did
describe
not.
those now.
I noted that.
So, you awaken tired out, your head aches, and there is a bright light above you, but it's distant. It's like far above you. And you look at your hand and your arm, and you realize that it is bare, In fact, you are not wearing anything. Or let me be more specific. You're not wearing any clothes, but you have a number of symbols drawn upon your body in flaky red substance.
Oh, that's disconcerting.
They are strange and esoteric. If you want to make an Arcana check, you might
Yeah.
be able to figure out.
I would very much like to make an Arcana check. Let's check this out. Let's see. My Arcana isn't good, but I'll try. 17. That's not nothing.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Those are not infernal runes, nor are they fey in nature. You suspect that those strange spiral-like curls and characters are some sort of code used by worshippers of the Eldritch, shall we say. You also see that you are lying atop a basalt altar, and all around you are corpses.
She's like just registering it, and just like
Yes, you're in the nave of the cathedral, in fact, and all around you are corpses.
And then she's gonna I'm not gonna do it here, because volume, but she's going to scream. Because even the typically fairly composed Silver Sparrow has her breaking point, and apparently that breaking point is waking up covered in bloody runes in a room full of corpses.
Up on the stairs, Anji, you hear a scream that sounds much like the Silver Sparrow, although you've never heard her quite that distressed before. She's usually much more in control.
Fire and brimstone, what was that?
Tarant says, that didn't sound good.
It sounds, in fact, quite the opposite of good. Oh dear.
Okay, now that you're taking more stock of your surroundings, Sparrow, there are at least 300 bodies in here, probably.
Oh my god.
Many of them spattered with blood, and like their features have distorted as though they died in pain and terror. There are marks of violence upon many of them, definitely. And you see that one figure in particular, that of Catharsis, the mother profane, is standing. You think she's just standing there against one of the pillars that's near the altar, but in reality she is nailed to the pillar with your sword.
Okay.
It is this tableau that Anji and Tarant and Eve come down the stairs to witness.
I would ask what's going on here, but I don't believe I actually want to know.
Tarant looks at Sparrow. He looks at the profane mother nailed to the column with her sword, and his eyes narrow slightly.
We didn't do this.
Oh no, of course not. She's only speared to the wall with your sword that I've seen you carry dozens of times.
Yes,
Couldn't possibly have been you, dear.
Yes, because I came here somehow and killed the profane mother and 300 other people, or insert random number that she's guessing here, exaggerating, I'm sure. Before laying naked on an altar covered in bloody runes. Because that sounds like something I would do.
Your kink is not my kink, and that's okay.
Would you like to make an Arcana? Would you like to make an Arcana check, Anji?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that was terrible. 8.
Okay. Yeah, those are weird runes that you don't recognize.
Right? No.
Okay. You hear a sudden wailing sound, and you realize that Eve, who has been staring shocked at all of the mass death and carnage all around her, has finally given voice to that sensation and is crying out in distress and terror.
I'm not surprised. Um, um,
Uh,
This loud sound seems to provoke a commotion at the front of the cathedral. The massive doors lurch slightly as though someone might be coming in to investigate.
does anyone know how to quiet a child? Because this is not helping.
Don't look at me. I haven't had.
Look, I know one thing I can do. Taran says.
I
don't know that I trust that. What was?
He just stuns her, and she stops screaming.
I mean, that
What?
works.
Not.
Look, the Seekers have very, very specific abilities that they teach. Okay, let's not make a thing of it.
I have one important question. Where are my
Okay.
clothes?
I have no idea. Can I use minor?
I didn't take them.
Can I use minor illusion to put a dress on her?
I mean, normally that's not really what the spell's intended for, but yeah, I think so. I think that makes sense.
It says an image of an object, so like
Yeah.
it would be very much a dress like I would wear, not a dress like she would wear,
What-
but like at least she'll be
no.
dressed.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
yes. Okay, give me some details, please.
It is so I kind of know Sparrow's taste, right? So it's gonna be a gray and black little frock. It'll have laces up the front like a dirndl. Comes below the knees, a little peekaboo of red lace there, and a little peekaboo of red lace around the collar. But like very Lolita, little puff sleeve.
Flattering and infuriating. Yeah,
it's like if I were to be like, oh, I'm supposed to get Sparrow a dress just like mine, but one that goes to like her color story, because I understand color story, but I don't understand like anything else. I'm not that nice, but at least you're dressed.
Sparrow, you now have an illusory goth Lolita outfit.
Yes, she's still. I mean, she's still looking very like rattled. So I think even with how rattled she is, she's not even gonna comment. Which
this way you could move about town without,
Right.
I have something I need to tell you. Just quietly. Gerard was on death's door when I arrived last night.
Yes, he
To the
seems
point
fine
he doesn't
now.
he doesn't fully remember our conversation, which I suppose is good. But yes, he woke up this morning dandy and humming and making me breakfast. Eve says she did that she has the power to help all manner of people. Says she cured some folks down in the cathedral too. I can't get the number out of her, but we need to get her to Oriana.
She cured folks in the cathedral.
She said she helped them. You know how cryptic the child is.
Did she help them like this?
I don't know. I tried to get it out of her, but I'm not good at asking questions. I certainly don't speak child. But she did this to Tarant, who was literally on his last leg last night, and woke up this morning again, humming and singing and cooking me breakfast. So we need to get her to Oriana.
Yes,
if she can cure the plague,
Oriana,
then she can cure the plague. The rest of them be damned.
I can't argue with that. At this point, Sparrow will kind of gingerly slip off of the altar and just kind of like try to tiptoe around all the corpses. She's trying really hard not to step on any of them.
Through the corpses.
Yeah. And she's going to so she's keeping an eye out for her clothes, her armor, anything other than her sword, because she knows where
we know where your sword is.
Just the sword.
when she kind of clicks that none of her stuff is here, or at least if it's here, it's under bodies, and she doesn't really want to spend the time trying to figure that out. So she's going to go over to the Mother Profane and just kind of like, I am so sorry about this, and just start pulling the sword out.
Oh, it slips out really easily.
Ugh.
Entirely too easily. Like, you will never forget the exact sensation of how that felt pulling that out of that corpse.
I hate everything about this. Just kind of gently.
Oh, and then her body slumps to the ground.
Yeah. She'll just kind of gently wipe the blade on the Profane Mother's robes. But,
It's interesting, the robe that had the hole in it that the blade went through, the hole kind of closes itself as you're watching.
Ooh.
And when you wipe the blood on the robe, the blood kind of just evaporates off of it. The body's still a body, though. She's still dead.
For sure. She's still very dead.
I could have lived 1,000 lifetimes without having seen that. Ugh.
Interesting. Well, if we're going to have visitors, we should get out of here.
We should yes. We don't want visitors.
She'll.
Brant, who has thrown the little girl over his shoulder while he's going around flipping switches and like checking on sconces and stuff. And he's like, I'm pretty sure it's one of these.
You're pretty sure.
Like I said, I've never used it. I just know it's here. You hear voices from outside the cathedral. Get in there. That hurt. That sounded like a small, scared child. Pounding on the door.
All right, that's definitely time to go.
Yes, let's.
Feel free to go through her pockets for loose change. It's not like she's going to need it anymore, Tarant says.
Absolutely not.
I mean, that's a fair point, though. Look, they're going to think I killed her anyway, no matter what, I imagine. If they have any inkling that I was here, I might as well avail myself to anything that might help us.
At least you took your sword out of her. That was a good first step.
Thank you,
Tarant.
Please.
Helpfully.
Can we please get on with our exit?
I'm working on it, princess.
Thank you.
Sparrow will do a quick pat-down search of the Profane Mother just to see if she can find anything noteworthy that might be helpful.
Okay. So, the Profane Mother does have a pouch that looks moderately full of like maybe coins. She has a scepter, and of course there's the robe itself, which is clearly magical. Like, it clearly has self-repairing properties.
I noticed that. Well, I will, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take it.
Excellent.
I'm going to take the robe and the other stuff you mentioned too. It was a robe, the
scepter, and a pouch.
Scepter and a pouch. Okay.
You gonna open up the pouch?
Down. I will open up the pouch. Yes.
Okay. It's just a yawning darkness inside.
Oh.
That's a move.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say no to that.
You're like, nope.
Yeah, I will take that. I will actually don the robe because that's going to be better than the Lolita dress.
Over your adorable dress? I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. No offense, it's not my style.
Covering up that adorable dress. I see how it is.
All right, so I'll pull the robe on, and then if there's like a belt or something, like any kind of like.
Well, there are ties to the rope.
Yeah. I'll slip the rapier through that because I'm guessing my sheath did also did not make it.
Correct.
Here.
Well, to be fair, you had a new sheath. It was called the Profane Mother.
Rude. So rude.
Very rude. Mm-hmm.
Very rude.
Mm-hmm.
I dress, and then I will go. All right. Let's see if Tarant has gotten the way out open.
I'm
I
gonna.
found it.
Okay.
He calls.
As we're walking out, I'm gonna snag the scepter out of Sparrow's hand just for like a second. This was gonna be funnier. There is a jeweled scepter somewhere in my world, and I thought it was on my desk. It's not.
Ah,
I have one. I'll find it for next time. But I am gonna hold on to that for a second and do detect magic on it. I want to make sure that this thing that looks jeweled and important isn't gonna set off some kind of alarm when it sets foot out of the cathedral. Basically, if it is a magical item, if it is attuned to the profane mother, if it is attuned to the cathedral, if it's gonna start a whole world of hurt for us, I want to know that.
okay. It is
So,
definitely magical. It is definitely powerfully magical. Specifically, it has evocation and abjuration qualities. And it doesn't appear to be tied to anything else. Like, I like to picture magic as kind of like a network, and you can kind of see the ties to other spells. And this appears to be just an individual item. The pouch
Okay.
is also magical. The robe is also magical.
okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well,
I will be like
The profane mother
absolutely.
was wearing like kind of normal ladies' underclothes under the robe. Nothing salacious or anything.
Yeah, I'm not stripping the underwear off a dead woman. I'm just going
Right.
to take.
I'm just
the
pointing
robe.
out that you're not leaving like a cathedral full of corpses, one of whom is naked. I'm not doing that.
Okay. But yeah, as we walk, I will like sort of be absently like conducting music with the scepter, just sort of because
fine.
it's pretty. It's shiny and it's something to look at that isn't a pile of corpses.
Yeah, the scepter is relatively heavy, and your arm quickly gets tired doing like the minute specific movements of conducting music.
Bibbidi boo.
Bibbidi bobbidi.
God damn it. Yeah.
You think that it
I
would
will.
you think that it would really hurt if you hit somebody with this thing?
Which is why I'm gonna keep hold of it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I acknowledge in my head that it's Sparrow's, but it's gonna be a minute till she gets it back because she's armed. She's got her sword.
That's fair.
She's got a sword. I have a shiny thing that no one's gonna think of as a weapon, but if I
Alright.
hit you over the head with it, you're gonna have a bad day.
The scepter is
Mhm.
obviously not a finesse weapon either. It's obviously
No,
a strength-based
definitely-
weapon, and
It's like a hammer. It's just pretty.
it's like a hammer. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
more accurately, it's like a mace.
It's like a okay.
All right, so
Okay.
Tarant on the way out.
One other thing about the scepter, the end of it, there is a ruby at the end of it, enclosed in like a golden crown, which looks like a crown of thorns, with the ruby enclosed in the center.
Okay.
Oh, we like it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm digging the
okay,
style of
I
that.
like it,
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
What powers it might have, you don't know, but you know that it is a symbol of authority over the Hellfire faith. So, yeah. All right. So you get to where Tarant is, and he said, "So I have good news and I have bad news."
I've had enough bad news for a lifetime this morning. How about the
Great.
good news?
The good news is that I found the secret exit.
And
Don't tell me the bad news is that it's blocked.
The bad news is that I was not the first one to find the secret exit. There is a big padlock on the secret exit. He is currently picking the lock open.
Okay. There is a big padlock on the secret exit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You got this, or would you like me to try?
I got it. Ow.
All right.
No, I got it. It's fine. Boom. Boom. You hear more pounding at the doors.
Yes, well, we do need a bit of haste, don't we?
Fine. He steps aside. He says, "I'll delay them. You get through the secret exit.
Thank you.
Don't worry, princess. I'm not about to die. You risked your life to save mine, and I will make sure to pay that bond before I die."
As it should be.
As it should be. Oh, here. And he hands you Evening, who is still unconscious.
Not helping.
All right.
And then he heads
Sparrow
off.
will take the picks because hers are not there, and start trying to pick the lock on the door.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Tarrant just gave you his lock picks, which come out
Yeah.
of his bracers. Like he just keeps them there so that he can easily pull them out and use them
Yeah.
and put them away. But yeah, he gave them to you. They're just a normal set of thieves' tools.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a thieves'
I
tools check.
Still
With
haven't figured out how to even do that on D&D Beyond. I never have.
so I think if you click on the gear item, it might allow you to do it.
Here, efficiencies and no. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Like the item in your inventory, it still doesn't allow you to do it.
The item in the inventory. Let me see.
Yeah. Anyway, so you hear a voice from behind you. It is Duran's voice. The doors break open, and you hear him say, fellas, church is not currently in session right now. Hold on, are those flamethrowers?
What?
And then you hear the
Absolutely
rush
not.
of flame.
Yeah, it doesn't let me. It's not letting me. Like I found them in my inventory, but there's no option to like use them.
All right, just go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw. I'm sure it would be the same, unless you also have expertise, in which case you can add that.
I do not have expertise, of all things.
Hmm.
It's only a 13.
Okay, not everyone takes expertise in thieves' tools. Okay, 13 isn't going to do it. So you don't break off the tools or anything, but you don't open the door either. So you could try again.
I will.
This may be a bad idea, but I'm not afraid to shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
If shooting it with a bullet might break it open, I am perfectly happy to use a bullet for this.
Okay.
And the way I suggest that is I'm just going to like pull my pistol out and just like show it to Sparrow and like
Might as well, and she'll get out of the way.
You're right, back the fuck up.
Nice.
Okay. So let's. And you said that it didn't work to click on it.
Nope. You should be able to make an attack roll with the
attack
weapon.
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm investigating how the tools are supposed to work.
It's not letting me do that.
And D&D Beyond might be having issues.
Yeah,
I mean,
How
they
dare
did
it.
introduce a brand new system of D&D, so.
Yeah, well, even before the new system, it just wouldn't let me. Like, I could never figure out how to actually like use the tools, any tools.
Yeah.
Mm.
So same thing, dexterity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
17 with the pistol.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely hit the lock where you intended to hit the lock. Go ahead and roll the damage, please.
Okay.
So Anji just pulls out her small hand cannon and just puts it right up to the lock.
That was, hold on.
I don't know if you imagine it as being like a Derringer kind of pistol or like an actual full-on flintlock pistol.
It was like a flintlock dueling pistol.
Okay, cool.
So that was, oh, I rolled that wrong. Hold on. So that is 10 points of piercing damage.
Cool. Yeah, the lock blows open.
You're welcome.
All right, you pull it off and pull the door open. It smells like distinctly like a sewer through that entrance.
Okay. I hate this very much, but
All right, you can hear flames roaring behind you, and they light up the space behind you.
Tarant, dear Rex, it's open.
You hear no reply.
I said.
I don't think we have time to wait. Shall we? And then Sparrow will just go in because she's a street kid and she's probably been in worse situations.
Yep.
My turn to scream. God damn it. I hate this very much. So here's thing one. I don't know that I can carry E. And I can't leave her here.
True.
So I'm gonna yell for Tarant one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see the crowd of people holding the Flammerwerfers or just like fire?
If you can move a little bit to where you can see them.
Okay, yeah, I wanna be able to see them and hopefully also see Tarant not dead. But I would like to be able to see them.
So there's a squad of 6 heavily armored purifiers, that is to say, knights from Dayside, and they are wielding these things that look like a cross between a staff and a rifle that are just projecting flames.
Okay.
Which, well, you've never seen anyone use a weapon like that before. Tarant seemed to recognize them.
I mean, yeah, like I'm into it. If I could get one of those, I'd be down. But then now is not the time to try to steal a flamethrower from a bad guy.
And what's happening is that the corpses in the cathedral are rising up to attack them.
Oh, okay. Time. Yeah, I'm already.
Is Sparrow gone?
Yeah.
Can I see Tarant?
Why don't you roll a roll a d20 for me, please, Audrey?
Okay. Scared. That was a 9.
Okay. The light of the flamethrowers bathes that area in shadow. Strange flickering fire light shadows across your face, which might be slightly damp, who can say? And abruptly, a hand grabs onto your arm, and you realize that Tarant has appeared out of the shadows behind you.
Of course he has.
He is breathing slightly hard, but he is alive, and he says, "Okay, time to go.
Will you carry the child, please?"
I have to do everything. Well, I did knock her out, so let's go.
Okay, as we depart, I am going to leave a cloud of daggers behind me.
Okay.
Mostly to discourage anybody dead, alive, or some confused state of possibly both from coming this direction.
There is a zombie who wanders into the cloud of buzzsaw and gets eviscerated.
Yeah, that's the point. That's what we're doing here.
Leaving this kind of bloody cloud.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
and Tarant
meat into a blender.
Fine pink mist.
Tarant pulls the door closed behind you. From that side, it just looks like part of the wall. Okay, and then you descend down the dank, slippery steps into the sewer.
Why is it always sewers with you people?
And that seems like a good time to take a break. We'll take about a 10-minute break and we'll be right back. So don't go away. And we're back. All right, you descend down into the sewers beneath the dark, dusty streets of Nightside. So the plague of undeath has haunted the city for several days now. The streets are not safe to travel, and the sewers, well, the undead had to rise from somewhere, didn't they? And you find that the sewers are full of corpses as well. Which you discover about 10 feet into going down the first sewer tunnel when you almost trip over a corpse. And it kind of murmurs slightly, but does not stir.
Oh. Well,
Mhm.
step carefully. Just trying to be very quiet, like.
These are
Um,
not fresh corpses. They have
mhm.
been here for several days now, you can tell.
I intend to use the D&D equivalent of Vicks Vapor Rub in that I will be using prestidigitation to make it smell better just right here.
Mhm.
Mm.
Just right here.
Uh,
Anyone who
what
gets
what do you want it to smell like?
like roses.
Mhm.
Like anyone who gets real close to me, suddenly it smells really good and it's because I refuse to smell corpses and I
Like
have magic.
a
I
little
have
cloud
magic
of
for that. Like
rose
yeah, like
rose essence.
imagine Pigpen from Charlie Brown, only like tea rose perfume.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, everything in my immediate vicinity smells really fucking good, and everything else smells like corpse.
Great.
So if you
This
stay
is
close to me, you can breathe the air and it doesn't gag you. You're welcome.
yeah. I mean, I could probably do the same thing, truthfully. I think I have prestidigitation. I do.
You do.
Uh, yeah, I will kind of do something similar.
Pharaoh's gonna copy my homework.
Yeah, because it's a good idea, and I don't really.
If there's one thing you can count on Anji for, it is to use magic for her personal comfort. If
Fair.
you learn anything from playing with me, yeah.
Meanwhile, Toronto's just slogging along behind you.
Yep.
You're welcome.
So
Other important question was the profane mother wearing shoes?
yes,
Okay, would they have
did you
fit
take them?
Sparrow? I probably.
They had little curls. Specifically, each one had three little curls that were sharp and might have and were actually little metal hooks. They'd make a little clinking sound unless you know how to walk in them. Did you put those on?
No, not with that.
No, no.
I guess I'm going barefoot through the sewers.
Excellent. Excellent. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I don't know what I do to deserve these things.
You played in this game.
Me neither.
You asked for
All right.
this. All right.
That's fair. I did.
So what
I
methods? What
will make sure
methods?
Tarant knows that if he starts to get, if the smell gets nauseating, if he just gets close enough to me, it's gonna smell good over here. Just make sure he knows that.
You know, under different circumstances, I'd say that was a trick, but I'm going to take advantage of your offer.
I promise you, I've not the fortitude to have tricks up my sleeve in such a place.
If I tease you, you're going to withdraw it, so I'm going to take advantage.
So,
Best for us all, really.
moving through the.
Feel better, kid. At least you're unconscious. He pats Eve on the back. All right. Yes, Allie.
So we're moving through the corpsey sewers.
Corpsey sewers. Yeah, I was going to ask, what technique are you using to go through the sewers? Are you going really fast? Are you blundering your way through? Are you stepping really carefully? What are you doing?
Well, given the prevalence of the corpses, the animate corpses, however old they might be, I'm going to be moving carefully.
If you were to look at me, you would, in the old Scooby cartoons when they're trying to be sneaky but also fast, so it's like that big tiptoe situation. That's kind of what I'm running,
yeah.
but like and almost prancing because that's how one goes quickly on one's tiptoes.
Yeah, and Sparrow's moving kind of with that like practice, like I'm used to having to like be stealthy and step around obstacles kind of like movement. So she's at least fairly focused on that at the moment.
Pharaoh, I will also point out that you realize that you can see perfectly well in the darkness. Not even with dark vision. It's just like the darkness is no impediment to your sight at all.
Huh.
And you feel faint, this faint tickling sensation from the gemstones the gemstone that's lodged in your forehead.
Oh, yes, the shards that got thrown into me.
Correct.
Those kind of got like absorbed, right? They're not like sticking out.
Yeah, but you can kind of feel this sensation at the front of your head.
Okay.
And everything is perfectly clear to you.
Huh.
Like even brighter than you're accustomed to.
Well, suppose there's one advantage to everything that happened. Oh, hopefully the others are okay.
That's the hope. Sarat says.
Yes,
So
well,
you're stepping carefully through. I'm going to need everybody to make a dexterity check. If you are trained in stealth or acrobatics, you can apply that modifier instead.
okay.
Natural 20, 24 total.
Anji may have crept her way around a corpse or two in her time.
I have a great skill score, but I rolled low, so I only got an 11.
Okay. It seems to be sufficient. You're making your way through, and you realize that while these tunnels do connect to the sewers, they are not strictly sewers themselves. Part of what you're going through is the basement of the cathedral. And the basement of the cathedral has a whole charnel pit sort of room that is just full of corpses. And these aren't necessarily all we died in the plague corpses. Like there are skeletons dating back hundreds of years, as near as you could tell.
Of course. Because what good church
Right out of
doesn't have a corpse pit?
that World's Scariest Places episode about getting lost in the Paris catacombs. Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Many of them are burned, like the bones are blackened as though by an intense flame.
I don't like that. We're just onward. Other
Okay.
than away from here, Pharaoh, have you much idea how to get back where the others are?
Well, I have some idea, unless they've moved since then.
They shouldn't have, but neither should you. So, there is that. But I made it to the Belfry fine on the street level. I'm not so much familiar with down here, but I seem to recall from our last jaunt through the sewers that you had some familiarity with subterranean navigation, as it were.
Do. And I can probably pick my way back. You recall that we were at the home of those dwarven merchant folk. We'd kind of moved on there. What was that place called, Eric, that we went to?
You mean where all the workers were?
Yeah.
That was the hive.
We cut a deal with the dwarven family, and went to the hive.
The hot hive.
The hive. We were trying to see if the workers inside were free of the plague.
Oh, and how did that go for you?
Poorly.
It turns out you wound up nude on an altar to the profane mother.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm not quite sure how that happened. The last
one
thing I recall,
seldom is.
The last thing I recall is we had been fighting this large, monstrous, shadowy creature, and it was trying to kill Oriana. I stopped it from killing Oriana,
Well,
and
that's
it
good.
threw some shards of crystal at me, which, believe me, hurt terribly.
I would imagine.
They were sharp. And then, as I was trying to recover, because I got sort of thrown across the room, uh, there were more of the dead surrounding us, and Ori. I remember fire. Lots of fire. Then I woke up on that altar, and I am not entirely sure how that's possible.
Suddenly, my sojourn across the plagued city in the middle of the night, all alone, full of marauding gangs, seems like a pleasant way to spend an evening. But we need to find where they would have gone.
They
We need to
might.
get Eve to Oriana.
Agreed. We might have
And you
some.
want to inspect that tower, Tehran
And-
says.
And then, once we've put
Wait,
Eve with
tower?
Oriana, we will go look at the evanescent tower was visible this morning, in broad this light.
Broad this light. Well, that's news.
It's concerning, but I figured the matter of the child and the plague ought to be dealt with immediately and as quickly as possible, so that we could perhaps investigate the appearance of the tower, provided it's still there. So,
Well,
haste.
then, yes, haste. Our first
Haste.
order of business, then, either way, is to find a route out of here up to the street.
Well, Tehran says, I do know the sewers fairly well.
Of
Don't
course
say
you
anything.
Of course you
Anyway,
do.
Hey, I know them
Where-
too.
Shall we
didn't-
not quarrel over who's more familiar with this ick?
look, I didn't want to throw you under that horse and carriage there, Sparrow, but all right. Where are we going?
Truthfully, I have no idea what the situation is with the others back at the hive.
Should we return to the dwarves then? Eve would be safe in their care.
Dwarves?
You would.
You remember that delightful breakfast I brought you?
Yeah.
Came from the dwarves.
Which dwarves?
Player doesn't remember their name, character would.
You mean the Soul Drove Syndicate?
Yes,
Oh,
though, them.
Anji.
They lay a fine table.
Are you really going to complain where the food came from?
No, but they don't take too kindly to thieves.
So we don't tell them that's your So you'll wait outside.
They seem to find me a delight. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's true.
They must have been using you for something. What did they
Didn't
want you
you
to
hear?
Of course, Tehran.
They wanted her to go check their hive for plague, which they did, and there was a monster. You didn't hear any of that.
do? No, I did. I just didn't realize that's who you were talking about.
Darling, you've got to get better at eavesdropping.
So you want? So you're suggesting? Let's cut a little bit here. You're suggesting, though, that we divert and go look at the tower.
With an
Well-
unconscious child along.
I was just reminding you that you were going to do it.
You needn't remind me. We just ought to put the unconscious
All right.
child where she could do someone some good.
All right. Well,
Well, it's going to take time to get through the city anyway. If we plan a route that circles near the tower, we can take care of that, and hopefully without wasting too much of our time.
which one of the Soldrovs sent you to the hive?
The one of the daughters.
The older daughter? The heiress?
The younger daughter. She was the one arguing for their safety. Their father was adamant that it was safe and secure, and of course no plague could have gotten in there. I didn't buy that for a moment. Interestingly, though, after he relented and left, the elder daughter seemed quite pleased with the
There
turn
it
of
is.
events. Exactly.
Lana
I'm
set you
glad
up.
you. Oh, absolutely. That was my thinking.
She wanted you to go to the hive to expose the infection so her father would get blamed. This is a coup that she's launching.
Good for her.
Good for her, bad for you.
Well, in retrospect, yes, but
Well, if you go back there, I don't think you'll be welcomed quite as warmly.
which is a shame. I really would have liked to have gotten paid, but they gave us food. That was part of the payment.
Well, food's better than bullets at this point, so
It is. Or money, marks or coin.
right. All right. So we can't go
And
back
yet-
there.
No. No matter how nice the linens or the china.
Yes.
Suppose I left at the right time.
Sorry
No.
for your suffering, princess.
Our options are either to return to the hive, which doesn't sound like
Sounds
an
like a
enjoyable
terrible
prospect,
idea.
given that they're probably long gone or dead.
And
So we really have no idea where they are.
No,
oh.
but they might have seen the tower. If the tower is visible and they see
would.
it, they might make their way there.
I suppose
you're
it would be of
working
interest to them
for-
as well.
Yes.
You're working for the Archon. That's right.
So, all the more reason for us to travel to the tower.
I
That's
suppose
good
there's no
plans, Annie.
harm. I would like the child to wake up, though.
Let's get out of the sewer first. I don't. As much as I'm not.
How much whammy did you put on her?
She should have awakened by now, it's true.
Hmm.
You know, getting knocked out really isn't good for you. It can cause a lot of serious trouble down the
She
line,
said she
What?
was
What are you talking about?
especially for a child.
She said she was tired because of all the help she'd given, and that she was losing power, and that she would need to borrow some from someone, and then you knocked her out if she was that exhausted. We need her alive and well with enough power to cure Oriana.
Turon says, all right, fine. Let's find a dry spot.
Why don't we?
Okay.
All right. Dry spot.
So eventually you get to like kind of a wider open space. There are little waterfalls for the sewer, and you can hear the rushing of water. This area appears to be relatively free of corpses. You kind of think that most corpses that end up here would just fall down the pit. Eventually, Turon sits Eve down, and she's not only asleep, but she's dreaming clearly, like her eyes are rapidly moving under her lids and she's murmuring.
Well,
Turon says, well, if she was exhausted, she might have just gone into a normal sleep after my stunning faded.
Makes sense. She's sleeping soundly. I'd hate to wake her.
Do any of you have a bright idea for transferring her power?
I'm not even sure how her whatever she does works.
No idea. Just
All right, well, she helped me, so I'm going to help her. And he rolls up his sleeve, revealing a very well muscled and scarred forearm. He says, "This is usually the way you do it, right?" He pulls out a blade.
Oh,
do you think that's a good idea?
No, it's not a good idea, but it's an idea.
It's not.
would
It's
say
not
that-
an. Perhaps in the tower or some other place that isn't a corpse-infested sewer. It would be a less terrible idea, but
Now. Don't bring your modern ideas of uh, what can cause illness and infection. We all know that infection comes about from rats and bad humors and poor jokes. I think that's what that means. Anyway, and then hand grasps his arm,
Oh,
and Eve has reached up and grabbed him. She still seems to be asleep.
I would
But
I would say, fine then, cut yourself in this filthy sewer. But you know,
no,
it's your
no,
arm.
no.
as you watch, his skin kind of pales around her fingers, and energy flows into her hand, like you can see it happening. And Tarant, like,
Oh,
ah,
that appears to be a bit portentous, but also disturbing. And
Far more sanitary.
Eve's
that
eyes flutter open, and she just releases Tarant, who
oh,
steps back, kind of like, ah, oh. And Eve says, "Oh, wow, I had the most amazing dream. Hi,
oh, hello,
Hello.
dear.
are we safe now?"
Uh,
Marginally.
safe? It's a relative term, I suppose. We are on our way to see
Uh-huh.
someone else we'd like you to help,
Okay.
but we've stopped to make in the meantime, mostly because we aren't sure where she's gone at the moment.
To see her.
Um,
The Lightbringer.
oh, yes. We don't know where the others are, and so we're going
It's
to.
okay. They'll be along, she says.
That something tells me she knows what she's talking about.
I have
And
concerns. I have questions. They're not important right now.
Indeed. So shall we make our way to the tower then?
Yes. Let's get out of this literal hellhole and
Thank you.
head to the tower, please.
Eve says, "Yeah, that's a great idea." Tarant looks a little less convinced because, she just drained some of his life energy. But yeah, he's going along.
It's like, hey, dude, you volunteered.
Yeah, no, you're like a
Debt
cattle
is
prod.
a debt
While
is a
we're
debt, he
while
says.
we're traveling, while we're walking, I'm going to say to Eve, uh, they mentioned you helped people in the cathedral.
Yes, I helped a lot of people.
Do you, um, were those the people you helped back there? The ones in that room
What room?
where you got, uh, where I was, when you saw me?
Oh, yeah, I'm, I don't, I'm not sure.
So you didn't have anything to do with me being there.
No, I don't think so.
She'll kind of slowly push the sleeve up on the robe and just kind of like hold out her arm with like she didn't bother wiping off the runes, so like they're still flaking off. But like,
Yeah,
does,
no, they were pretty dried on there.
do you recognize any of this?
Oh, um, that's the Warped Man's sigils.
Okay, pretend I don't know who that is. Uh, who is the Warped Man?
He's really strange. He has several faces. Only one of them doesn't have tentacles.
Well, I was going to say that sounds like the Faceless almost, but Faceless is a god
He's
that.
he's he's rich and he has a big house.
Oh, it's a person, not a. Wait. What?
I think I was there for a while. I think he cast some spells on me. Or maybe they were scientific rituals? I don't know. What's the difference?
I really have no idea.
Anyway,
Science, magic, it's all kind of the same in the end.
I remember the candles. They were all green.
Okay. Green candles. That sounds far too similar to. Well, so look at Anji. Oriana and Sounder and I were on this heist not that long ago. Um, and there was, well, a lot of strange things. The man that we were stealing from happened to be a warlock of some stripe. Uh, Mad fellow. The
Most
green,
of them are.
I'm
the
sure she
green.
meant no offense, Tarant adds.
Thank you, Tehran. Uh, I'm not sure. The green fire reminded me of him. That the
Was
mention
it
of
a
green
big
fire.
greenhouse? Eve asks.
Was it a big greenhouse?
It was. In fact, it was called Viridian House.
Hmm. Yes, it was Viridian House. It was very large, very green. We did kind of set
Are
it
you
on fire.
talking about Alferus Robillard?
Lord
Tarant
Robillard.
says. Oh no. Oh no,
What?
that's worse than the dwarves.
Why is Lord
We didn't
Robillard
cut a
worse than the
deal.
dwarves?
We didn't cut a deal with Robillard. We stole from him. There's a difference.
All right, well, I
Oh, I've
respect
cut
that.
deals with him, but
Oh gee.
I'm a musician.
Oh,
Uh,
actually,
Criminal
wait,
this was getting
no.
deals.
worse all the
Wait.
time, he said.
We didn't actually amend that. We didn't steal from him. I thought you did. Didn't you?
I did. Yeah, that's right. I
Yeah.
did steal the thing that you were. Was that the thing you were trying to say? Is that the heist you're talking about?
Yes.
That was right before you came to meet me.
Oh,
Yes.
Sparrow. Oh, Sparrow. I'm sorry. I take back my praise.
Wait. What?
I stole from him. I assume that you also stole from him, but really what happened is you tried to steal from him and failed because I had already stolen from him.
Which is not the same as a it's not the same as a failure. It's not our fault you got there first.
It's
And I
not.
remind you, I well, no, I didn't wind up with the crystal in the end, did I? Hmm.
Whatever happened to that crystal?
I don't know. The one who took it ran off into the sewers, and then I wasn't able to catch up with her.
Oh, well, I'm sure it'll show up eventually. These things often do.
Hmm.
Alferus Robillard, esoteric hierophant of Tulsa, the green light of ineffable revelation, is what he calls himself. And he is mad beyond compare.
Well, with a name like that, I would assume so.
He and his bizarre cult worship this ancient entity from beyond our understanding and our universe.
If I recall right, I lit his house on fire.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm sure he didn't take that personally.
Well, I didn't light it
Tragic
on fire.
waste of a
Hellfire.
lovely wine cellar.
Hellfire lit it on fire. I just happened to be there. But they did light it
Hey,
on fire trying to kill me.
hey, he kneels down next to Eve. He says, do you remember anything about these spells they were doing on you? Or anything he said? Eve considers for a second and she says, something about revealing parasites. Brent looks at you two.
I don't know. But did these symbols have to do with those same kind of spells, the things that he was doing to you?
Maybe, she says. Are you a
What?
parasite too?
I don't know.
Tron says, that's a rude thing to ask. And Eve says, I'm a parasite. That's what Lord Robillard said.
Lord Robillard said a lot of things, dear. He
No, but
wasn't
it's
always
true.
correct.
It's
It is.
true.
But
I can absorb life from other people.
But you can also bestow life on other people.
I can.
We've seen it. We've woken up beside it. Um, so that means you're not a parasite. You're a battery or a transformer, perhaps, but not a parasite.
parasites
That would
only take.
be a one-way thing, and that's not you.
Uh, there's a word for that, Tarant says.
Symbiosis.
A symbiote. That's what you are, Eve, Tarant says very confidently. Like he hadn't heard that word just 2 seconds ago. And she says,
Oh, he's getting a look.
I think I like Parasite more. And he says, fine, whatever. Anyway, we're almost at the tower.
Oh, God. Parasite Eve.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Hate it. Thanks.
Look. Who else is a nerd for that kind of mid-90s stuff?
Yeah, that's
Damn
fair.
it. Okay.
I
Okay.
literally have a song
Okay.
called Parasite Eve on Sparrow's playlist.
That's the name of this episode, in fact. And it's named after that song.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right. So
yeah.
you're almost at the tower. In fact, the square where the tower stands is right above you, and Tarant shows you to a sewer grate that you can climb out into to get to the tower.
Okay.
I'm gonna not be stupid about this, and we should be invisible while we are crossing the open square.
That could be a good idea. That is fair. Let's see.
Okay.
I don't have the capability of doing that myself, but hey.
Guess what? Let's see. One, two. So
If you recall, there is a statue which is part of a fountain in the square called the Sorrowful Angel, and it's an angel pouring water out of a bowl down into the fountain.
Okay.
And the angel is not looking upward toward the heavens, but downward, as if in great sorrow or suffering. The evanescent spire itself is a tall white. It's like a sheer white tower that is. It seems physically impossible. Like you don't see any seams of bricks or stonework or anything. It's just one long tall tower.
Okay.
Although now that you're kind of near it, you could see it through the grate. It's leaning slightly, just a little bit.
like more than last time.
Like more than last time.
We don't like that. That's
No, that's weird.
That's not sound engineering. I'm not sure the structural integrity of that building is thus that I want to go inside of it, but it's better than the sewer, and it's better than standing out in the middle of the open square where we're gonna get caught. I do have the magical capability to turn everybody else invisible. I would be the only one not invisible.
Karant can turn himself invisible too.
Okay.
So
then I can turn three people invisible.
all right. So the four of you all turn invisible, and you climb out of the sewers. The square does have a large number of burn piles in it, not corpses, piles of ash, and with the occasional bone sticking out, etc. And you can see scorch marks all across the stone.
I'm not looking. Just straight
All
to
right.
the tower.
And you do see soldiers. They are in the attire, the armor and tabards of purifiers, in fact.
Okay.
Some of them carrying around those flame-throwing weapons.
I'm gonna I'm gonna add it to my payment at the end of this. I want one of those.
Nope, don't like this. While we're walking, I realize I never actually looked in the bag of holding
Mm.
to see what's
The pouch
inside.
of holding.
The pouch of holding.
The lady's pouch of holding.
Yes, that pouch of holding.
Okay.
I'm gonna root around in there.
Right. Yeah, you reach your whole arm down into the pouch.
Into the Hermes mini Kelly of holding.
Yeah. I gotta add that to your character sheet now. Anyway, so this pouch of holding mostly has coins in it.
Okay.
It has a couple of what feel like round and smooth objects. You pull one out, it's a skull.
Oh,
You-
put that back in there.
There are a couple of potion vials as well.
Okay.
Ooh, we love a potion.
Also, some perfumes, which invariably smell really sharp and biting. Acerbic, shall we say. But they would certainly cover up the smell of brimstone really well.
That tracks. All right. Curiosity sated. Little too much, maybe. I will put that aside and continue on.
All right, so I put this on your character sheet, and I am going to call it Lady's Clutch of Holding.
Beautiful.
There we go.
All right.
And I will just go ahead and increase your funds a bit based on the coinage that's there.
All right. Not
Some of
complaining.
it's coins, some of it is script, some of it is there are some gemstones as well.
Okay.
Like it's a goodly amount of coin.
Not that money's worth anything right now or anything, but you know.
Well, I mean
Right?
it is, but it's
if the
like-
economy ever recovers, you're golden.
food does cost about 10 times what it usually costs. So yeah.
So you reach the tower.
You reach the tower.
Indeed.
The tower actually has a clear opening, like a door at the base, which it doesn't usually have unless you have been pointedly invited.
Well,
I feel like we're gonna go inside anyway, because like we were invited last time, so we may not even know that door's not normally there. But even if we do, like we feel like we're like on the list. And with the DJ, okay?
Okay.
Like
You're
we're
just
on the
gonna head
list. It's
inside?
fine. Yeah.
just gonna walk in. Yeah.
Walk in,
Okay.
like it's better to walk in here than to be on the street. Let's be real. And then I will drop the invisibility once we are like safely in the building.
There's a bunch of weirdos with flamethrowers out there.
So the Evanescent Tower has a kind of a surreal, transcendent feel to it. Like the chaos and suffering of the outside world is absent. Everything becomes very soft and subdued,
We like it here.
and you hear like a faint chiming sound from somewhere. At least that's what it was like the first time you visited. This time when you're visiting, it is utterly silent. You don't hear anything from outside, but you don't have that same sense of peace and tranquility. It's more uneasy stillness. There are a number of muddy boot prints on the floor in the entry corridor.
Being a grew up in Dayside girly,
Mhm.
can I use investigation to see if I can be 100% sure if those are bad guys' boot prints or not?
Sure, make an investigation check.
18.
18. Okay. You think that the tread of those boots uh, does not match Purifier boots? They're too inconsistent and they don't match each other.
Okay. You girl knows shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're definitely workman's boots, not like sophisticated footwear or combat boots that you'd expect soldiers of the light to wear.
And I will share that with them that it's not pure. The good news is it's not purifiers. It's not regular army. It's not police. The bad news is we don't know who it is.
Well, that it's good that the purifiers haven't breached the tower, but it's concerning, nonetheless. And Sparrow will draw her rapier and let it shed light.
So, sorry about the weird cut. If it was indeed weird, if it was not weird, it was a normal cut, and I'm still sorry about it. But we are back, and you have entered into the Evanescent Tower. It is not blissful and tranquil like before, but still and uneasy. You see mud has been tracked into the front chamber of the tower, and a graceful spiral staircase that twists in different directions as it ascends rises before you.
Well, shall we ascend?
Nowhere to go but up.
Okay. Sure enough, you rise up the staircase. You see that there's not only mud but also blood stains on the
Ew,
staircase.
that's not normal.
That's concerning.
I don't like it.
No, I don't either.
And you get about halfway up before you encounter the first piece of a body, which in this case is a disembodied hand that is just sitting on the staircase, curled into a cloth. This.
Well, that's great.
That's unacceptable.
You find several more body parts like that:
Oh,
feet, hands, and you find one head of a man um, screaming in terror.
hmm.
This is not good.
And then you find yourself in Lilith's sitting room, which is covered in blood, and there's signs of battle all around. You see several charred corpses and a couple uh, broken apart bodies. One thing about the disembodied hand and body parts that you found, they don't have like cuts. They look like they were just broken off neatly, and like there's nothing that came out of them or anything. Totally clean breaks, no cuts, like they were statues that were broken apart.
What the bloody hell happened here?
And you see Lilith's desk and throne covered in blood,
Well, that's not good.
No,
and
that's not good at all.
all of her art and um, peaceful displays have all been desecrated and torn up and destroyed.
Well, that's
Hmm.
tragic.
Yes, that is tragic.
Francis,
Um,
that is tragic. I was hoping to knock over this place someday.
I would not have let you.
This was the greatest thieving challenge in Nightside. I was building to this.
I would not
But
have let you.
now just some disgusting vandals got in here and I'm sorry, that's very insensitive. I
Well,
apologize.
adapt. Well,
I would like each of you to make a perception check, please.
oh, perfect. I was
Okay.
gonna say I was gonna look around, so that's perfect.
18.
18.
16.
Okay. Turok kind of stiffens and he says, "Do you hear that?" And indeed you do. There is
Ooh.
a faint rumbling sound, like ground, the floor of white marble is vibrating slightly. Marble is also cracked as though by great violence.
Oh, I don't like that.
And your attention is drawn to a dark figure that appears out of an alcove.
Okay. Rapier up. Like the moment I catch movement, I'm in attack mode.
A tall, black, scaled figure, bright green eyes, steps out of the alcove, wielding a massive hammer.
Oh, well, that's not Lilith.
It's really a maul, but it's slightly spiked, like it's a meat tenderizing hammer, shall you say?
Okay.
Is it Lilith's dragonborn buddy?
Oh yeah, it is.
What was his
He's
name
got
again?
blood. He's got blood trickling down the side of his head. His name is Saran.
Thrawn.
Specifically, Saran the Night Hammer is how
Yeah,
Lilith
see where he
referred
looked
to
at.
him.
Yeah.
And he's wearing cracked plate armor, as if he has been in numerous battles himself. And his eyes are this brilliant shade of green, uh, normally very like beautiful and thought-provoking, like you can fall into them wondering about the various facets and shades of color in his eyes. But right now they're filled only with hatred and rage. And there's this sound as he slams his hammer down on the floor, and then he drags it scraping toward you.
Saran, we're
Hello,
we're
dear.
we're here to help.
We've
We-
come to inquire.
Friend
Are
of
you all right?
yours, Tarant said, as he's pulling down his long short sword.
Just
Friend of
normally?
a friend of a friend. Friend of a friend. A vague acquaintance. And then I turned right back to the dragon.
Blasphemers, Saran said.
No.
I promise we're not here to blaspheme anything.
Defilers.
No,
Or
no.
Murderers.
Not us.
Oh,
Them.
well, I mean,
Them.
sometimes, but not
us.
right now.
He hefts his hammer as though it weighs nothing, which you can tell it does not. And he points to you and he says, "You shall pay for what you have done in my home to my mistress."
No, where's your mistress? We've come to...
Roll initiative, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
heavens to Betsy.
I don't want to fight you! I want to be your friend! Also, my
Boo.
initiative is terrible!
That was mine.
Oh, my dice are being nice to me today, though. 17.
I got an 8.
I saw that you got an 8. That's no good.
That's not good.
We in trouble.
All right. Eve, who is still a little groggy, is going last, which is probably for the best. So Tarant runs up first, and he says, "You want to kill us, but they don't seem to want to kill you, so we're going to try not to kill you, buddy." And the massive hammer comes boom, swinging for him, and Tarant slides under it with expert grace.
Go to Ron.
He slashes one of his swords across the leg armor of Saran. It does nothing. And then he punches with his fist holding the thunder sword into the side of Saran's other knee, and that makes the Drakar's leg buckle slightly, and Saran falters down to one knee. Let's see if he gets stunned. He does not get stunned. Okay. Saran is going to try again because this is what monks
further anger the dragon.
This is what monks do, right? Uh, he lands a couple more blows, but Saran just shrugs off being stunned because Constitution saves might be real good for him, and Wisdom saves are also real good for him, probably because he is a paladin, and paladins have real good saves. Anyway, Saran kind of like comes up on the other side of Saran, and he's like, usually that works. And then Saran brings around the hammer at Tarant. Let's see. Yeah, he does hit Tarant, slams him like flying across the room with just that one massive blow. Think of the prologue of Lord of the Rings movies. Tarant slams into the wall, collapses bonelessly to the floor. Anji's turn.
Making a note, don't get hit by the hammer.
Let's see.
There was also when the hammer struck Tarant, there was like this shattering, thunderous report that shook the entire room, cracked the marble of the walls and the floor, like a thunderous smite that just smashed Tarant aside.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna do what I do, which is instead of fighting him, try to convince him he doesn't want to fight us.
How are you gonna do that?
That is the fast friend spell.
Okay.
So that is see what I have to do here.
Yeah, why don't you remind us what all that does?
So basically, he has to beat a wisdom saving throw of 17 or better, or he will be charmed by me for the next hour, and basically has to do whatever I tell him to.
Okay. You cast your spell, you start speaking your honeyed words, and he just kind of shakes off your influence. The power of his wrath appears to be bolstering him against such spells.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Anything else, Anji?
That's literally all I've got. Yeah.
I'm not saying that couldn't work. I'm saying that he made his save against this.
Okay.
Okay. Barrow.
Yes. All right. Okay. Figure out what I want to do here. This is not great. Well,
Sparrow
I don't really
has
want
this Indiana Jones moment with the with the hulking adversary.
So I'm going to facing down this. There's no way I'm fighting him head on. I'm going to shadow dance.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to poof behind him if there's sufficient shadows to do so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The room is cast in this weird mix of light and shadow, like a prison, actually. So
Okay.
yeah, there's enough shadow back there that you can get behind him.
Okay. I will use my cunning action to teleport,
leaving him a clear line of sight to Anji. Perfect.
I'm not a meat shield.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And then I'm gonna try to stab him.
There's no meat shields in this party. Okay.
No.
That's not what we do.
I'm going to let's see. Yeah, I'll use my.
Go ahead and make an attack.
Yup. Let's see here. Actions. Are you?
Didn't roll very well, huh?
No, I rolled a 1.
Oh no. Okay. So this is what happens. You stab your sword. Uh, it should be going right through him, but instead it just like hits his armor just wrong and skips off between his back and his arm, and then he brings his arm down, trapping your sword there. And he looks around, and like there's this little tracer of his eyes just burning away as he looks at you. And then
We can
twists
handle
his
this amicably.
he twists his torso and just go ahead and make a strength saving throw, please.
Well, luckily strength isn't my lowest thing. It's not
That
good.
would be wisdom,
Really?
wouldn't it?
I got a 19. Like that, I rolled well on that one. Like,
Okay.
That good. You're not dead. Good job.
So what that means is that he does still. Okay, you have two options. One, you hang on to the sword and don't get flung away, or you do get flung away, but you take the sword with you.
I mean, I'll take option 2. That's dramatic. I like it.
Okay, you get flung away. You get the sword. The sword scrapes across the marble, sending up a shower of sparks. You're looking at it like, is it bent? I hope it's not bent.
Yeah, and there's a moment where she kind of like catches herself, and she's like, "We're not enemies. She blessed this sword herself."
You carry my mistress's blessing after you slew her. He raises his hammer like he's going to.
It was them. We did nothing of the sort.
Okay. Eve is cowering behind Anji, holding her head. She says, "Stop it! Stop it!" She's not doing anything this turn, but she might do something next turn. Okay, Tarrant. Tarrant picks himself up. Okay. He disappears. He turns invisible. And then he reappears, leaping up onto Saran's shoulder, where he just drives this blade into Saran's, like, attempting to drive it into his neck. So here's the attack roll. So this is Tarrant being more like a thief and less like a monk, right? The first thing he did, more like a monk. Second thing, going back to old reliable. He does hit. Let's see. Gotta grab some dice here. Okay. Yeah, he stabs his blade into Saran's neck. The Drakkar very casually reaches up, picks him up, and throws him away. Blade still sticking out of his neck.
Delightful.
Yep. Tarrant goes tumbling to the ground again. This time he lands mostly standing, but he is obviously still very injured. Like, getting hit by that smite in the first round took a lot out of him. Theron just kind of ignores Tarrant, like he's an annoying little fly, basically, and instead brings his hammer down on the floor. And I'm going to need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, dear. Oh, I hit the button.
17.
Okay.
7.
Okay, so cracks shoot through the marble, and the floor starts to collapse. Anji, in point of fact, having failed that saving throw, you end up falling through the floor amongst the toppling rocks, pieces of marble, and all the way down to the lower floor, where you were going to take a total of 15 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, my.
Ow.
Yeah, for sure.
Sparrow, you managed to find a secure spot up here where you did not fall. There's now a gaping hole in the floor that he crashed through with this hammer. Uh, I'm actually going to roll a save for him to see if he fell through the hole in the floor. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, he did. Anji, good news. So, you're not dead from your fall.
That's good news.
The bad news is that boom, Saran lands right in front of you.
Okay.
Okay,
I
it
think
is
the other
your
good news is
turn.
that it's my turn.
It is.
Okay. We are still trying to charm this guy. We are still trying to make friends with him. So what this is now, we tried fast friends, that didn't work. We're trying charm person. That is also a 17 wisdom saving
Okay,
throw.
here we go. It appears to have captured him. He looks at
Are you
you.
seeing reason now?
You are in my head.
Because you were too angry to listen to reason. We were here at Lilith's behest.
So, Pink.
Indeed. Pink goes good with green.
Okay, Sparrow.
Hmm.
So you're still up there.
Yes.
Anji and Saran just fell through the floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to the edge and peer over to try to get at least some sight of what's going on down there.
Oh yeah, Saran is standing there with his hammer raised, about to squish Anji real good.
All right.
Make an insight check, please.
Okay.
See, this is what happens when you don't have a group chat amongst the players. Like they can't telepathically communicate with each other.
Only got an 11.
Okay, you can still tell that he's hesitating.
Okay.
Like he's not striking her down.
Even so,
Tarant is like coming over this way as well. Like he's clearly gonna go down and keep fighting, but
I'll hold up a hand for Tarant.
Yeah. As a bonus action, can I like call up to them to like chill out and like not? Because if they hurt him, it breaks the spell. Like.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Do
it
not
did.
again or break the enchantment.
All right, yeah, she's shouting about this.
Yeah, and Sparrow will motion to Tarant, but her rapier, she's holding off to the side, and I'm going to cast Branding Smite as a bonus action.
Okay, your rapier's now bathed in flame.
It's actually radiant.
Radiant flame.
Okay. And I'm just gonna it's concentration.
Vindicator
so I'm just
style.
I'm gonna hold on to that. And I'm waiting. Oh, I'm waiting. Oh, I'm giving Anji the chance to talk this through, though.
Okay. Also, Sparrow, you notice that Eve, over kind of at the other side of the hole in the floor, the energy is leaking out of her and seems to be swirling around her like spirits gathering around her.
Eve, what are you doing?
She does not appear to be hearing you.
Eve?
Okay, so it's Tarant's turn. So his priority is still Anji, so he is going to actually start climbing down the stairs. The stairs that remain, because they have been a little bit screwed up as well. Because they're basically free-floating marble stairs, some of which have been crushed out of existence by falling bricks of marble. He's not going to attack Saran, though. He's just ready in case he has to. Okay, then it's going to be Saran's turn. He says to Anji, I know your magic compels me. but I will listen. Speak.
Do you remember us?
I do.
We were here at Lilith's invitation.
So pink. So pink. Yes, Lilith's invitation.
We saw the tower appear.
Yes, you have been
And-
blessed by the evanescence
And
of
today,
moonlight.
the tower appeared when it oughtn't. We were concerned for Lilith's safety.
The towers desecrated my mistress. Dead.
Oh no. We're sorry we didn't arrive in time.
The city has fallen. All is doomed.
I don't know that all is doomed.
He is coming. The light bearer is coming.
Is that a bad thing?
The bringer of flame, the destroyer of cities. Mada, the Inquisitor, is coming.
Oh, well, yes, we ought to dispatch with him at once.
Only Lilith could have defeated him. And she is gone.
Killed her.
Who?
He looks back to Sparrow. He said, I do not know. I have failed to protect her. That is all I know.
No, you didn't fail. You were overwhelmed. No one can be expected to take on an army on their own.
That is my sole purpose, to take God. He trailed off in a series of kind of choking sounds. And you realize that like there's this silvery glow that's leaking out of him and floating upward. Anji can't really see what's going on. Tarant can't really see what's going on. But Sparrow has a particular vantage point, and she can see that that light is flowing into Eve on the other side of the hole.
Eve, stop!
Eve is just like, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. And just like the spirits swirling around her, which are green in coloration, are growing more powerful and more substantial.
Okay. Can I do something?
Yes.
When I see that, Sparrow is going to dash around toward her. And
Okay.
as I go, I'm going to break concentration. I'll drop the sword. And I'm going to grab hold of her in like a
Okay.
hook.
Okay. I got you.
It stopped.
All right. I'm gonna need
Everything's
you
going to be fine.
I'm gonna need you to do two things.
Okay.
One, I'm gonna need you to make a persuasion check to have advantage because you are exposing your own vulnerability, which I want to encourage as a way of convincing someone that things are okay. So
24.
24, perfect. Now make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yep, all right. 19.
19. Okay. As you come close to her, the spirits reach out and touch you, their fingers passing through you in this cold, deadening caress.
Mm-hmm.
And your own energy starts sapping out of you. In fact, you lose one hit die, just as though you spent it but don't heal anything.
Okay.
But you manage to kind of grit your teeth and fight your way through, and then you put your arms around Eve, and the spirits put their hands into you because you're not trying to dodge them or fight them off, and they're just like reaching toward your heart as though at their touch, they will stop it from moving. And then finally, they just relent and pull back and start to fade around you. Down below, Saran, who was starting to foam slightly at the mouth and his skin just draw tight against his bones, pants in relief as though this attack has stopped. And Eve, her breathing calms as Sparrow holds her. And finally, her power ebbs and relents.
It's safe. Promise.
I just wanted it all to stop.
It will. Onji's got this.
Okay. Just stay with me, won't you?
I'm here. I'm not going to go anywhere.
I'm scared.
Keep hugging. Never stop hugging.
Okay.
So am I.
Anji, you and Saran gaze at each other, sharing this look. And in the background, Tehran is looking at you like. And then you can hear loud footfalls down the corridor as someone else enters the tower. And it is on that note that we should call it for the evening. Setting up the cliffhanger for the following episode, where I hope to have the whole cast. And for us, we're recording that like tomorrow. So we got full hype going. And for the rest of you, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait another week.
It's best case scenario because I'm like definitely going to be like this all night. So the fact it's only one day and not 5 ever. Yeah.
Sometimes it's a good job. Anyway, thank you for coming along in this Greymantle journey. We have planned 2 episodes left after this. So you're almost to the end, to the climax, to the revelation or lack thereof. We'll see. I have been Eric Scott B, the DM of this game, and Greymantle is a collaborative effort between Allie, mostly Allie, and me. This Victorian Gothic horror setting, and obviously it's very much my jam, and I'm really pleased to be able to share it with you. Look up my writing online. Probably my latest book has come out at this point or will come out soon. That is Fallen Angel, the 3rd book in my Justice Vengeance series. It started with that book, Libations for the Dead. If you can see it on the shelf, probably not. But it's a superhero series, and Amanda has read it. She loves it.
I have, in fact, read it.
She'll probably read it again because it'll probably change slightly during editing. Anyway, and yeah, I just love writing these books, and I enjoy telling stories, and well, you see the result. So thank you so much, and see you next week. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. You know what I am. Writer, game designer, TTRPG streamer, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for joining us tonight, and I hope to see you soon.
And I've been Amanda Cherry, again, writer, streamer. You can find me online at Amanda the Ginger on all of the usual places. Follow me. I'm hilarious online. And let me know if you picked up on the Wicked the movie quote that I slipped into the game tonight, because I was very proud of myself for that.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week.